Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing how minimalism benefits children, and specifically how my husband and I have seen it benefit our own children as we have started this journey towards a more simple and minimal life. There tends to be a lot of research out there on how minimalism is beneficial for adults, but there's not a lot of talk about how it affects the kids. I think a lot of people just figure if the parents go through it and are working towards it, that the kids are sort of just along for the ride. And that's true to a point, but it's also important to note how it benefits them specifically. And since this year one of my resolutions was to look for inspiration, I've been focusing in on people who have minimalist families, as well as looking at our own children and understanding how they've been changing through this process that we've been on. And so today I want to share with you what I have found. The first thing, and probably the most obvious, is that there are fewer distractions for the kids when there's a more minimalist layout at home. Of course, there's not toys laying everywhere and there's not piles of clothing to sort through. So that's all fine and good. Maybe it'll help them concentrate better. But what I've noticed on the flip side of that, or actually in relation to that, is that by having fewer distractions, kids are actually able to be more laser focused on the things that they love. And so what I've seen personally with my own children is that they don't spend time really as much on the things that they don't care about, but they really focus hard on the things that they do. For example, one of our sons wanted to learn chess, and so he kept at it and was just very laser focused on that, and his major goal was to beat his dad. And so eventually, as he kept at it and didn't get discouraged, he was able to beat his dad at chess, and that was a huge accomplishment for him. The next benefit for kids is that they are less likely to lose things. Now, we've all been there in the morning getting ready for school or getting ready to head out the door, and suddenly there's something missing. A shoe's missing, a backpack is gone, and it just sets us into a frenzy and a panic. And I've noticed as we've been going on this journey that things really are staying in their place. They have a home now and they are staying there, and that has helped us so much less stressful in the morning when we're heading out the door. We actually have a set of vintage lockers that our boys use to store their backpacks and their winter gear and things like that. And so it's really so simple for them in the morning to just grab their things and go. And when they use anything from their locker during the day, they know that they should put it back so that it is ready for when they need it next. The next benefit that we have seen is confident decision making. And I think that this goes along with really adults as well. When you are faced with so many decisions, it can be paralyzing at times to worry if you're making the right choice. And that can be something as simple as picking your clothing out for the day. I know it was super freeing for me to minimize my wardrobe down to 50 pieces. I did a video on that. If you'd like to check that out, I will link that video. That has just been a total game changer for me. I can go to my closet in the morning and I can just pick out the things that I know I love. I know I will not make a wrong decision. And so the same goes for kids. When they are faced with, choosing a shirt out of a pile of 50, that could be overwhelming, and they might not be sure which is the best or which that they would want to use. But when faced with just a couple options, they can clearly see which one that they want. And as they go through and make these decisions, each decision that they make that they feel confident in and responsible for, that will help them in the future to make other wise decisions when it comes to relationships and also healthy habits. And so confident decision making is something that will really carry with them throughout their lives. And I'm really excited that I have seen this benefit. Probably the most documented benefit of minimalism for kids is their expanded creativity. When you're surrounded by fewer things that do the imagination for you, you really need to use your brain. And kids have this imagination that adults don't have. And so surrounding them with too many things really can clutter up that ability that they are born with. And the creativity we have seen out of our own kids has been really amazing. This past summer, they all worked together and built a homemade roller coaster. And It seems kind of strange, but that's what they were all interested in doing, and that's what they wanted to do, and they were just creative with it. They worked through all the problems and they got it working, and we're so happy when they had accomplished that goal. And so just seeing them being creative and being outside, which is also super important and something that most minimalist families say that their kids do. They spend the time outside, they're getting the fresh air, they're getting the sunshine, and it's just so good for them. The next benefit that we have observed is happy sharing. Our kids, basically their toys that they have, none of the toys that they have pretty much are their own toys. They're communal toys, they're things that they can play together, and we have seen that they are very much less possessive of the items that they are given even for their birthday. If they are given a toy for their birthday, they might have a day or two that they want sole possession of that toy or that item. But after a while, when a sibling will ask them if they could also look at it or play with it, they have been more than willing to do that. And that has been really great. I think sharing bedrooms is very important for kids also. And even as we're building our new house, we've had people ask us, you've got 5 kids, are you going to have, 6, 7 bedroom house so you've got room for guests or something like that? And we say no, my husband and I are sharing a room, our boys are sharing a room, our girls are sharing a room, and that's it. We are not going crazy with the bedrooms. We think it's an important life lesson actually, and something that we have seen actually improve through simplifying our lives. And the final and probably most important benefit of minimalism for kids that we have seen is the stronger bonding that happens in relationships. Not only have our kids become closer, but we have become closer to our kids as well. Since there's nothing hiding behind closed doors, the clutter is coming out onto the table, and it's just all laid out there. I think that we all just kind of realize that there's no point in hiding anything at all. And so there's a lot more communication. We sit around the supper table and talk about our days. It's just been really great to see that we can communicate in that way and we don't need to hide anything. As part of this journey, we are trying to be more intentional with our time. And of course, with less stuff to manage and spend your time working on, we have been able to allocate that time towards our children and doing things with them, playing games, going for walks, reading to them, just being together. And that has been by far the greatest gift that minimalism has given our family. I hope that these benefits are encouraging to you, especially if you are looking at having a more minimalist life with your family, and just realizing that these benefits now that affect the children, they're not just for when they're kids. They are going to affect them throughout their entire lives, and laying this foundation is so important and so great for them. And so I would encourage you to check out the blog post that I have posted below that has additional links to mothers and families that are going through this journey and have other tips on how minimalism has affected their families. I hope that you can check those out. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to this channel or visiting my website, arrowhillcottage.com, for more tips on creating a simple home and living an intentionally simple life.